Hey, what's going on, ladies and gents? Hopefully everybody's having a good day, night, morning, evening, wherever it is you're at, wherever you're at. Yes, you finally see me. Well, in the same time too, you're not finally seeing me because I've actually got. If you go back far enough in my YouTube videos, I've actually got a video of where I'm on camera, so I'm not a stranger to the camera. I'm not afraid to show myself. It's what it is. But now you see who's behind all the videos. Um, don't care what you think of what I look like. Don't care what you say about me. Whatever, whatever, whatever. At the end of the day, it's point blank simple. You don't sign my paychecks, you don't put food on my table, you don't pay my bills. So what do I care? Neither here or there. That's not what this is about at all. The reason why the reason why I'm actually doing this video is because, believe it or not, the customer build that I'm doing, which I posted a video on earlier today, been doing some more work for him, doing more Chrome work for him. I actually ran out of Chrome, so I got to order it, but that nonetheless, he's been telling me for weeks now that. Well, especially since people on YouTube are actually starting to ask me questions about their builds, which, believe it or not, I actually greatly appreciate that. And thank you for asking the questions. And yes, I'm getting to the questions as soon as I can, because I got a lot of stuff I'm doing. I'm very busy. Besides work and my personal life and customer build and my own stuff, I nonstop. I'm kind of to a point sleeping when I can. But nonetheless. The customer, which the gentleman's name is John, he's been pushing me now for a couple weeks to make a video, especially since people are starting to ask me questions about their builds on YouTube. He's been pushing me to, excuse me, I just got done eating dinner, so he's been pushing me to make a video on services that I offer because I do work for other people as well. But right now, as it stands, the customer now, John, he's pretty much my main priority because how just the magnitude of his build, I've got to put everything into his. So on the aspect of doing builds, I'm currently not doing any right now because how large his build is. I've got no more room to store anything for right now. But I am still doing motherboard repairs. Yeah, I'm still doing motherboard repairs, still doing hardware repairs, do modding, do customization, etc., etc. I do have a microscope, which you guys can see previous videos of me doing that. I do have a microscope. I do have a nice set of micro tweezers, so I can do CPU socket repairs. That means even if it's the newer AMD stuff, I can do socket repairs. Intel stuff, I can do socket repairs. But at the same time too, it depends on how badly the socket is damaged. If it's damaged bad enough to where it can't be fixed, well, there's two ways. There's really one way you can go about it, but I don't have the tools right now currently to do it, which is heating up the socket, and you pop it off the motherboard and reball the socket, or reball the socket and put it back on, or as I say, reflow it, put it back on the motherboard. I don't have the tools for that. I've got a very basic solder and iron that you can get at like Home Depot for doing stuff like that. But I do plan on getting a better solder and iron and a blowgun or whatever they call that thing with the soldering stations. I plan on getting one of those so I can do more extensive stuff on the thicker PCBs on the GPUs and stuff like that. But like the services that I offer, I do full out builds, any kind of customization you want, I can do. I don't really do like custom paint jobs like pictures and stuff like that where you airbrush it. I don't really do stuff like that because for the cost of it and the time it takes, it's going to be something that I can't offer for the simple fact of it's just not going to be worth my time to invest in the painting for how little it would be done. I primarily enjoy, more than anything outside of building a rig, I enjoy repairing stuff because somebody's always needing hardware repaired. So rather it's shunt modding a GPU, lapping, replacing a chip that's on a GPU or a motherboard, doing some sort of motherboard mod, I can do all that stuff. Like I said, I got the microscope to do it. As of right now, because of my current customer's build, I can't, like I said, I can't take on any builds at all. I can only like repair hardware. But here's the kicker where it comes in with me is I won't take on a job that I know I can't do. That's one. And two, if I'm doing a build, or if I'm repairing somebody's piece of hardware, and because we all make mistakes, nobody's perfect. Even pros, people who've made careers out of this, who've done their life living doing this stuff, everybody screws up. And on my end, say I'm working on your piece. This is a guarantee I can put on my end, and now you have it on video. This is a guarantee I can put on my end, whether it's a build or whether I'm repairing a piece of hardware. If I get the piece of hardware, now obviously yes, you'd cover shipping to me. That you'd cover shipping to me. I'll repair it, but before I repair anything, before I repair anything, you would take in, obviously you'd pay the fee, or the other way I could take and do it, which I have no problem doing it, is you send the item to me, I repair it, and well, very easy, I ship it back to you once I get payment. That's pretty much how it's going to go. And then pretty much, if I don't receive any payment after about a month or 2 months top, because I got to keep things going, I will sell that piece of equipment. That's just, if you're sending it to me, you are agreeing to that 2-month max holding time of not receiving payment after the work is done before I will sell that equipment, because I got to keep things flowing. I got to keep room for other customers. So that right there, that's an agreement right there you're making with me already. Now on the aspect of doing like a build, you could take and you could send me all the parts you want, all that stuff. The second that I take and I do the build, then that's when you would be paying me for the build. Again, you got 2 months time frame. If you can't do it in 2 months time frame, then I'm gonna sell the build off, because I mean, again, I got to keep the room going. And even tech repair shops will do that, but they have bigger offices, bigger facilities to store more stuff, so they'll store it longer. Unfortunately, I don't have that luxury, because I don't make a living off of this stuff. I do this stuff on my free time when I get out of work. I've actually got a full-time job. That's my actual primary source of income of how I make my living. I do this stuff on my free time, so realistically, all you're paying me for is my time and labor, which the quality that I put in, like my customers build that I'm doing now, I put in the same quality no matter what the cost is. Because when I do a build, I treat it like it's my own. When I do a repair, I treat it like it's my own. And say I'm doing a repair and I'm repairing the product or the merchandise and it breaks, I will buy you brand new. I will replace it for you at my expense. Same thing with a build. If I'm doing a build and say I go to delit a CPU and then I accidentally break the CPU, or I break a part on the case, or whatever it may be, if I break something, I will replace it at my cost, no cost to you whatsoever. But in the case of like if you send me like a motherboard with a bent pin, you pay to ship it to me. Once I fix it, I let you know it's fixed, and then you send me the cost of the repair, and then you pay shipping back to you. Now, I already know someone probably gonna be like, "Oh, this is gonna get expensive." This, that. No, this is actually where it's gonna benefit you guys as a customer. Is being that I don't make a living doing this stuff, I do it on my free time. It gives me the ability to undercut any shop out there, because unlike shops, again, I don't depend on it for a living. Shops depend on it for a living. Plus, they got the overhead of parts, etc., etc., etc. I don't have to worry about none of that. So let's just say for example, I'm not saying this is how it's going to work, but let's say for example, a shop gives you a quote on a socket repair for a few bent pins. They give you a quote of like $80. I'll do it for. I'll take that $80. Forget that. Send the motherboard to me. Yeah, ship the motherboard to me. I'll fix those couple pins for like $20. Pay for shipping back. There you go. And you're gonna get the same quality. And let's say hypothetically, I take and I break that socket. Being that, or let's say for example, I break that socket. Being that I don't have the capability of removing desoldering a socket and resoldering another socket to the motherboard, I will replace that motherboard. I will buy you that exact same motherboard, brand spanking new, but instead of it coming to me, I will have it shipped to you. I'll cover the cost and the shipping and send it to you. That's my guarantee I can make. If I break it, I'm going to replace it for you. It's going to come out of my pocket. No problem with that whatsoever. Just to give you a heads up on that, is the build that I'm doing right now, the customer's motherboard, which is the Z790 Apex Maximus Encore. It's a $800 motherboard depending on where you shop for it at, brand spanking new. Which I will let you know right now. The other day when I was bidding CPUs for the customer, I wasn't really paying attention too much. Well, I was, but I was using the contact frame, and I don't really care for the contact frame, and I never cleaned it off when I was using it, which was completely my fault. I went to pull the CPU out of the socket, and I went to pull the contact frame off the motherboard with the CPU, and I got it about maybe 3-4 inches above the socket, and the stupid CPU slipped out of the contact frame and landed right on the socket and destroyed the motherboard. Destroyed the socket. With that being said, I texted the customer, which in this case the gentleman's name is John. I texted him right away, let him know. I told him I was going to try to fix it. He was okay with it. The second I pulled my microscope out, put the motherboard underneath the microscope, I actually seen the actual damage of the socket. There was no repairing it. The socket was destroyed. I only had one or two options there: to desolder the socket and solder another one back on at my expense, which I can't because I don't have the tools to do that stuff yet, or buy another motherboard for the customer, which is what I did. I bought another motherboard for the customer. I bought him a brand spanking new motherboard, which the motherboard is actually right there on the test bench. It's a brand new motherboard. But yeah, there's really not much I can't do, especially when it comes to building a rig. Prices are going to vary depending on the size of it. Even if it's your typical everyday rigs that you see with the AIOs and all air cooled stuff like that. If I have all the parts to that rig, I could typically do a rig like that in a few hours and then have it shipped out the same day. So it'll be a very quick turnaround. The longer it takes for me to get parts in, the longer the rig is going to take. But I mean, that's pretty much that. I mean, I can't really put out cost-wise on anything because, well, everything varies. Only thing I can tell you is I guarantee you that I will undercut any shop out there because I don't do this for a living. I do it on my free time, which my days off from work are Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. So those would be the days that the work gets done. And if say something gets shipped to me and it comes into me on a Thursday or Friday, unfortunately, you have to wait till Monday for me to work on it, and then Monday when I work on it, say it gets done Monday, it'll be shipped out Monday. Say it gets done Tuesday, it'll be shipped out Tuesday. Say it gets done Wednesday, it'll be shipped out Wednesday. And yes, I do. I take, and not only will it be videos, especially if it's a repair, not only will it be videos uploaded of the repair to YouTube, so you can actually see the work being done, so you can see the quality that's going into it, but you also see the hardware in working order when the repair is done, so you see that it actually works. So that's more or less like you're seeing what's going on with your stuff. And even if it takes in the hardware breaks or whatever the case may be, like I said, I will repair it at no charge to you whatsoever. I'll spend my own money, which, doing it in that case as a business, proper business, you break it, you buy it. Well, if I break it, I'm going to buy you a brand new one at my expense. Yeah, as I said, I can't really do any pricing or anything like that at all because everything is going to vary. I really don't know what much to say. I mean, even if you got a problem with your rig, if you have a problem with your rig, or if you need a GPU repasted, or it's overheating or something like that, and you don't trust yourself to take it apart, no problem at all. Send it to me. You pay shipping, obviously. No matter what, you're gonna pay shipping both ways. The only way you're not gonna pay shipping to have something go to you is if I break it and I'm replacing it and then I'm going to ship it to you. Well, then I'm going to cover the shipping. But like I said, if you have a GPU that needs to be repasted, or you want it lapped, or a CPU delid or whatever, you ship it to me. Like a delid, I'll probably charge maybe $20-$30 for a delid. And then ship the CPU back to you, even if it's a lap. On the end of GPUs, lapping no matter what is always gonna, I'm always gonna charge around $25-$30 depending on what it is I'm lapping. And the only reason why I say that is because, believe it or not, most of that cost is going to cover my sandpaper. So, and it's not saying, well, he's charging so little. They usually say quality comes at a price. But that's the thing, though. That's the kicker, though. I can put the quality in there without having to crank up the price because, again, I don't depend on it for a living. I have my regular full-time job for that. So, I mean, I've covered quite a bit of doing this, but yes, I'm not a business. I'm more or less an off-the-books shop, more or less. As I said, if somebody comes to me with an issue or a hardware problem and I can't fix it, I'm not going to take the job on. I'm just not going to do it. It's a waste of my time and it's a waste of your time as a customer. But yeah, and that's another thing. Like with my current customer now, John. If it turns out to where you send me something and you have a cell phone, we can gladly exchange numbers, and you can be able to contact me, and I can contact you, and we can consolidate on stuff. And that's what I do with John now almost every day. Actually, it is every day. We talk about his build, and we'll be texting, and I'll send him pictures and stuff like that. I've been doing it right along with him, and it's gonna be no different than with any other customer. Even if somebody that's on YouTube that tries to play know-it-all or talks crap or all that other nonsense, if they come to me as a customer, all the nonsense that they said on YouTube, that's whatever. That's water under the bridge. A customer is a customer at the end of the day. My goal, if you become a customer, is to, if I'm able to, take care of what you need done without digging in your pocket and at the same quality as a shop that does it for a living, if not better. But yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much that. Almost 20 minutes in. I really don't know what much more I can say. But yeah, for what it's worth, I've also quit smoking too. I did it on Thursday. I'm doing vaping now, so I just figured I'd throw it in there because I know some people have said in the past about smoking in the videos and stuff like that. Well, I'm just tired of paying the cost of cigarettes. Not that I can't afford it. I can afford it. I'm just tired of paying the cost. So I mean, just from I smoke a pack a day. I was smoking a pack of cigarettes a day, and from Thursday to today, I've already saved $70 because I haven't touched a cigarette since Thursday. I've been doing vaping, and I have no want for a cigarette. So far, it's working out in my favor. And once I take it, I know for sure I'm not going back to cigarettes, which I highly doubt I am. Then I'm gonna start easing myself off of vape. But to tell you the truth, I don't know if I'm gonna back off of vaping. I may just drop the nicotine level down because this is 22%. My disposable vape is 5%. Then once I don't need the nicotine no more, once I get rid of that want for the nicotine, which I'm weaning myself off of it, I'm gonna go to the nicotine-free vaping. Because I mean, the flavors that you get are insane. It's wow. Right now, I'd primarily do this vape just because of the flavor, because it's strawberry kiwi and it tastes really good. But yeah, so 19 minutes in, I pretty much covered everything I want to cover. If anybody has any questions about computers or whatever, please feel free, shoot it down into the comments, which a lot of people will say it's consolidating, charge money or whatever. I really don't care about that. I mean, I'd rather if I make a few bucks off of repair, make a few bucks off of a repair. So I mean, I just want to see everybody get the most out of their hardware. But simple issues or whatever, I'm just gonna tell you how I would go by it. More complex things, I would tell you how I would tackle it. And if you decide you're going to, I'm not advising you to do anything that I do, how I do it, or anything like that at all. I'm just telling you how I would do it. And if you take and you do something based off of how I said it or whatever, and you screw it up, that's on you. That's on you 100%. Versus, you could have very easily have just shipped it to me. I could have done it for you and sent it back to you. Now, if you screw it up, now you're either going to deal with an RMA or buying something new that you screwed up. You actually would have saved money just by sending it to me. But, and no, it's not trying to talk you into sending me anything. You ain't got to send me nothing. I really don't. No disrespect. I really don't care. But if you don't have the experience, doing it, and if it's something you care about, I would not suggest you do it. If you're going to practice on something cheaper to learn how to do it, and then once you have the experience, then do it on something more expensive. But yeah, so almost 21 minutes in, I've pretty much said everything I'm gonna say. So on that note, hopefully everybody's having a good day, night, morning, evening, whatever it is you're at. For now, I'm out. Bye.